Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. We're using Frosted Gingerbread, which is in the mini catalogue. This is a set that I'm really on the fence about getting, but quite like the samples in the catalogue and stuff. So I've hedged my bets and I did purchase it. So we've got the this really nice stamp set, and we've got some useful bauble, snowflakes, etc. on there, and some nice sentiments too. This border is quite interesting as well, which I quite like. So the thing that put me off a bit was the peppermints, because they're not really a thing that we have in the UK so much. But there you go, I plumped for it, and that's the stamp set. And there are some coordinating dies, so you can see there that there's some really nice dies to go with it. I can definitely see some utilisation of the stars and the snowflakes on their own as well. So that's the stamp set and dies, and then what goes with it are these really cute papers called Gingerbread and Peppermint. It's a 6x6 stack. Cinnamon cider, early espresso, old olive and real red are the colours. And in that pack we've got some really nice generic red, green and white sort of plaids and spots and things like that, and then we've got a bit more of the sort of, they look like they're iced cookies, and then on the other side there are things to fussy cut, and we've got the peppermints coming through. These coordinate with the dies, of course, so there's the stars. We've also got some mittens in there, so lots and lots of different patterns in there, something hopefully for everybody. So even if you don't like all the gingerbready things, the other sides could be made into really nice generic Christmas cards. So if the whole suite doesn't take your fancy and you fancy getting some Christmas paper, this would be a nice pack to get. Oh, someone's just gone racing up the road with something with a souped up engine, so sorry if that came across on the microphone. So the card we're making really does feature heavily the papers, so the trees are cut from the paper. There's a backing paper as well, so really all I've done is taken one of the sentiments and I've pulled out a piece of ribbon from the annual catalogue. It's actually the two-tone ribbon, which has Pretty Peacock on the side, but if you're careful and you tie it carefully, you can just have the old olive side showing. Okay, so the other side's Pretty Peacock. All right, so that was the sample card. So we're going to sort of turn it inside out and go with the old olive colourway. So I'm just going to pop that over there for my just to refer to. Okay, so old olive, like I say, and I've pulled out one of the old olive backing papers there, so just cut that to the normal dimensions, which is 4 by 5 3/4, and then I've got one of my mini mats and layers there, old olive and basic white. We'll glue those together. Already fussy cut a couple of the trees, this time with the red outlines, so the other one had the green outlines, so we've got 2 of those ready to go. We need to fussy cut another one, but I just wanted to show you that process without boring you to death and having 3 of them to do. So let's stick our layers together so that they're ready to go. Nice and simple layering. It's a really good basis for all your card making, and if you can just get your card base done and dusted, layered up, add dimension, whatever. Look at that nice red pattern on the back there. It's a really good grounding for the rest of your card. Okay, so we'll just line that up at the bottom, line up your 3 edges, and you should end up with a nice straight edge at the top. Good sharp crease. This panel's going on with dimensionals, which we can do straight away. We'll get those put on, not too close to the edge so they don't show. One each corner, one in the middle. Perfect. So that's the base all done. If you feel more comfortable, put some multi-purpose glue on the back of those, and that will help you line everything up. And there are lines on the Designer Series paper, horizontal lines on there, which do help with lining stuff up. So if you keep those in your sites as well, that will help. So that's it, card base ready to go. Right, so we'll just pop that to one side and say I fussy cut 2 of the trees with the red outline here. So this is the piece of paper that we've got. So we're going to take my Stampin' Up paper snips and just cut one of those from that backing paper, and we've got all of these other ones to do something else with at another time. And then we're going to fussy cut round there. I want to lose all the brown and just leave the red outline. So I'm going to start opening with the scissor blades nice and open, and as I squeeze the blades together, just gently turning that paper. Take your time. What you don't want to do is sort of snippy. The more times you start to cut again, if you know what I mean, instead of going to the full, almost to the end, not quite to the end, don't go all the way to the end. It's another area where you can get things looking jagged. Try and do cut as far along the line as possible with a single squeeze of your blades. When you're getting too close, open them all the way up again and do it all over again. Okay. The Stampin' Up paper snips are really nice and sharp. They're lovely for fussy cutting. And there we are, quick as that. Okay, so just take your time, follow the line through, squeeze the blades gently as you go round, and turn the paper and not your cutting wrist. Okay, I know that will probably look funny because I'm left-handed, but I think you get the idea of the technique. So when we come to putting our card together, so I went with a sort of side oriented layout, that's the word, layout, for the original sample. I wasn't 100% happy with it, so I'm going to go with across the card today for this one, and then we're going to bring in the real red for the sentiment as opposed to the green, and sort of have the sort of contrast, if you like. So real red ink there, and what I don't have is a scrap of cardstock to stamp said sentiment on. So let's go rummaging into our scrap box. Is there anything that we can use? And not seeing anything that is big enough. So I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock. Oh, I got something. It's all right. Yeah, scrap of cardstock. There we are. And our sentiment. Turn it around that way, I think. And we're going to be using the tailored tag. Fits really nicely. The double oval, the large scalloped or decal. Oh, there was a hair on that, something. Let's just give that a wipe. I think there's just hair or something on there that's transferred onto the image. So we'll just turn that over. 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. There we go, that's better. Just going to make sure that's clean. I do like to get that red ink off my stamps as soon as possible, so I'm just giving that a good clean straight away. I'm just fussy about that because the red inks do stain your stamps, but you can reduce that by getting it off straight away. So if we line up the sentiment just across there, get that C and S lined up nicely across the bottom, and the W just about fits in. Okay, so we just give that nice firm crunch. Just watch you don't get the fleshy bit of your hand caught or anything, because that will hurt, I know. Okay, and then you can squeeze your punch, lock it back together, and it will store flat, which is fabulous. And I keep mine in my Stampin' storage right in front of me, which is fabulous. Love it. Right, dimensionals on the back of this. I'm just going to put them sort of in the middle because they're going to sit in between some of these trees. So these two are going to come forward. So we will want dimensionals on the back of those, just a couple on each one. We'll probably do it. There we go. And then this one can go flat. So let's put that one down with some seal. Nice, quick and simple cards. So have that something like in the middle. Get all our dimensional backings off. And then position our trees where we want them. Might have them slightly different heights. Not by much, but just makes them look a little less uniform. And then our sentiment will fit in nicely underneath. Just looking to see that that gap's reasonably even. And then, just as we did on the other one, we're going to take a length of ribbon and cut tie a bow, I should say. Not cut a bow, tie a bow. So that's going to be way more than we need, but I just like to have plenty to work with. So the way I tie bows is using the bunny ear method. So this is the satin, real red satin, I think it's called stitched edge ribbon or something. Bunny ears, and then tie them around as a simple knot and just let it sort of come round. So this ribbon's sort of got a slippery texture to it, so you're going to find it, you're going to want to tie that quite tight so that you can manipulate it. So keep squeezing it and keep pulling it until you get the shape that you want. Tell it who's boss. Okay, just get that into the shape that you want, and maybe sometimes you sort of flatten your bow loops when you're tussling with it like that, so just rub them between your fingers and get those all plumped back up again. And then we want our trusty glue dots to glue those down. These are great for ribbon and bows. So you just press it onto the back of the knot and lift it off, and the glue dot comes away from the release paper and is on the back of there. So we can position that underneath, just so the loops aren't going to obscure our message. Not that it takes much imagination to work out what that says. Okay, and then we just need to trim the tails. Like so, preferably so they're the same length. If you can do them across in one cut, that you can make sure that they're even. So there we go, another simple card using the fussy cutting the trees out of the designer series paper from the Gingerbread and Peppermint collection. Slightly different layouts, and mixing up the designer series paper using different ribbons, but essentially the same stuff being made into two different cards there for you. We're going to be super quick to bash those out. Obviously it's quite extravagant using 3 trees. If you wanted to use less, you will get more out of them, obviously. So really nice set of paper, really love it. Do check it out. All the links will be in the description. Remember, you can shop with me anytime in the online store. I'd love it if you became one of my customers. And if there's anything else you want to know, just ask away, leave a comment. Always reply to comments. You ladies who comment regularly will know that. It's great to see you. Alright, take care everybody, stay safe out there, bye.